Right. Well, welcome in, everyone. We want to get a chance to explain how your first 28 days should end up. I want to thank you all for joining in this morning. And the first thing I want to begin by saying is this. One of the key reasons I joined Sayana is because you have the ability to learn. Let me make this statement. Only thing we know about today that's guaranteed for sure, it may not be your birthday, but just by today, the difference in today and yesterday is that you are definitely older. You may not be 12 months older, but you're definitely older. But the only way to know that you're better today than you were yesterday, you had to grow yesterday. So if you don't know anything different today, meaning you learn something different, you may not be that much better today than you were yesterday. And that's one of the key things we do in Sayana. We want you to become the best version of you. So let me make this statement, okay? And make sure you all get this. If you are not willing to learn, well, it's almost like no one can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Always remember that. If you are determined to learn, no one, I mean, absolutely no one can stop you. And that's one of the key things about being involved with Sayana. We do these trainings every single Saturday, and that lets us know when you're on, you must be determined to learn. All right. So let me go ahead and keep moving forward. Let's talk about your first 28 days. And I know that a lot of people, they always wonder, what do I need to do? Tell me what to do. What do I need to do? Well, it's not really what you should do, is more so who you should become. It's who you should become that really matters. And what we want you to become is a bronze. We want you to reach the bronze rank within your first 28 days. That means you have 2,000 points in what's called qualifying volume. All right. And just remember, we should always see signs of growth because you can't become and remain at the same time. So we should see some kind of signs of growth. Now, one of the things about our business, just two things. We show people how to get brand affiliates, and we show people how to get customers, or we call it customers to customer getters. That's all we should do. So every single day, we should see some signs of growth, meaning maybe you have an additional customer, or maybe you have an additional partner, which we call a brand affiliate. So look at this right here. Now, if you look at this, if you woke up in the morning, your day looks like this, it may look a little gloomy, and that's going to affect probably how you feel. I mean, just by looking at it, it may look like it's going to rain. So you have a hat on, you have your umbrella, right? But that's because you don't see any signs of growth. Watch this. Ah, now you see the whole picture. And we look at that whole picture, it look like it's gonna be a beautiful day. Well, guess what? When people see you, they should see signs of growth. You may not be a bronze just yet, but they see the signs of growth. You are not remaining the same and becoming a bronze at the same time. So let's go ahead and get into it, right? Let's talk about some definitions. Two important definitions I want you all to get. QP, that means qualifying points. That has to do with what rank you're at. So if you just get started, welcome to Sayana. We're glad you're involved. You're probably a brand affiliate. But as you're growing every day, you're not staying the same. We see signs of growth. Okay. Also, business points, BP. Bonus points, or we call it sometimes business points, that's what you're being paid on. So, watch this. As you're getting customers, there's always going to be qualifying points and there's going to be bonus points. As you're getting brand affiliates, there's always going to be qualifying points. There's always going to be business points, or what we call bonus points. Always look at that QP and that BP. So why is it so important to become a bronze? And you want to do that in your first 28 days. Now, if it doesn't happen in 28 days, it's not the end of the world, but here's why. This is what's going to duplicate because people are going to look at that and they're going to say, okay, you get the bronze rank. How long will it take you to get there? Well, I got there in my first 28 days. Well, the influence and expectations that, well, since you did it, I can do it, right? It's just like the products. That's why we tell stories about what the product does. We don't give the facts, okay? The stories are what makes the influence. That's the real value. That's what's going to duplicate becoming a bronze. So, what happens when you become a bronze? It opens up builder bonuses. What are builder bonuses? This is when anytime a new affiliate, a new partner gets involved, you earn an additional 10% of the BP along with the sponsor bonus. Now, let me make a quick statement. The builder bonus is only going to be paid out in your sponsor tree. So if I was to place someone under you, the builder bonus is not paid out to you. It's a new affiliate that got started, right? But you didn't personally sponsor the person. So builder bonuses only count and when you get the additional 10%, it's only in the sponsor leg. Okay. Watch that. I'll talk about that more in a moment. Also, team bonuses, probably my favorite one. These are the weekly, not monthly, weekly residual income. Some refer to this as passive income. This is when you do something once and it occurs over and over and over. All right. The weekly residual, that's income coming in without you doing the work. So, as long as customers they are getting a benefit from the products. That's why your stories matter. That's why when you're using a product, tell people what the product is doing for you. That's the value, the value, the value. People want to know that the product is going to help. If they know that, they're going to keep getting the product. That means you're going to continue earning that residual income and it's paid weekly, not monthly. Very important. And also, when you become a bronze, if everyone is incrementing their volume by 2,000 points, do you know how fast your business is going to grow? If your business is growing, do you know how fast your income is going to grow? That's why bronze matters. Okay, never forget, vision is where you're going. Value is who you're becoming. People buy because of the value. Remember that. People buy because of value. So let's talk about you being qualified. All right. So being qualified, you want to make sure you're active. That means you are qualified with 100 QP. Remember, that has to do with your rank. You want to make sure you're always active and you want to be binary qualified. One thing about syona that's so great is we only have two legs. We have what's called a left leg and we have a right leg. You want to personally sponsor two partners or two brand affiliates and make sure you're always qualified, active and binary qualified. And the weeks begin on Wednesday morning and they end on Tuesday. So we're about to close out a week. Also, we're about to close out a period this coming Tuesday night. All right. So watch this. If you were to go to syona.co, if you're on a computer, MacBook, or whatever, or you can go to the Syona Connect app when you click on back office, this is what's going to appear. You're going to see what you are. You're going to see your name up there, and then it's going to tell you you're active or binary qualified. That's going to pop up. You can do it right now if you have your cell phone. Look, you want to see yes, active, yes, binary qualified, thumbs up. You are ready to go. All right, let me show you this real fast. Look at these ranks. You see, I have the arrow to your left for bronze and bronze. Again, notice it says your small leg QP, right? And it says 1,000. Remember, you only have two legs. You have one leg on the left and you have one leg on the right. Okay. And let's say this is your small leg. It has to at least have 1,000 points in qualifying volume. Now, that other leg, it's got to match with 1,000 or it can have more. All right. But the small leg at least has to have 1,000. Other leg has at least 1,000. Congratulations, you're bronze. Now look at this. Look at the weekly commissions. Remember the team bonus. Man, I hope you all get this. The residual income. That's the team bonus. That's paid weekly. Weekly. This week, next week. This is what blew me away. When I started first receiving the team bonus, I remember I didn't understand the comp plan. I called Mr. O'Vera. I was like, I don't know how this money is coming every week. And he said, well, Mike, recognize we're a binary business. You're paid residual income weekly. I was still thinking monthly. Do you recognize your maximum? If you look all the way there to the right, do you recognize your maximum residual income as a bronze per week is $1,500 per week? I didn't understand that. $1,500 per week. Do you recognize that's $6,000 paid to you every single month? Right. But you gotta be a bronze. You need to be active. You need to make sure you're binary qualified. Okay. And then remember, the residual income of the team bonus is 15% of the BP. All right. Very important point. Okay. So, why that matters, why it is so important that you stay active. Look at this. Large leg, for example, 5,000 QP, small leg, again, has to be a minimum of 1,000 QP. Clearly, you're bronze, right? Watch this though. The team bonus you're getting paid as a bronze is 15% of the small leg BP, not QP. BP, not QP. Watch this. What happens to that large leg BP? Why is it so important? Because you got paid on the 15% of the small leg. What happens to the large leg? The primary reason, take notes, write this down. The primary reason you want to remain active, make sure you have at least 100 QP every single week is this. Because if you're active, yeah, the small leg that you got paid on, you got paid the 15% of BP, it's going to flush. But that large leg, it's going to flush what you got paid on. Okay. So, in other words, that 1,000 QP is going to flush, but you're going to still have 4,000 QP. So, guess what that means? That means next week, when the team bonus is paid out, you're not starting from zero. You still have that 4,000 QP in that leg. So I love the fact the way Mr. O'Vera and Becky Purcell they did this. This is what you call a hybrid, because in most businesses like ours, the small leg and the large leg, they flush. What Mr. O'Vera and Mr. Becky Purcell did, they said, no, we won't have a person start back at zero. The 4,000 QP is going to remain, but only if you are active. If you're not active, it's going to flush completely out. It's going to be zero. All right. Okay. So let's talk about how to hit bronze. Let's get to a good part of this. All right. You want to do the 4x4 promo. Okay. You want to do the 4x4. Always, always. Just do the 4x4. How do you get the bronze? Do 4x4. For customers, for partners. Start with getting your 4 trail pack customers. Okay. So your 4 trail pack customers, that's going to be 4 times 100 QP. All right. That's going to be 2250 because again, you receive 15% of the cost of the products. Okay. 15%. The cost of a trio pack is $150. That's going to be 2250. So it's 4 times 2250. And then when you sponsor 2 brand partners, okay, that's 2 times 300 QP, 160 BP. Let's just, we're talking about rank right now. We're talking about the rank of bronze. That's going to be 600 QP. Again, you're getting paid 20% of the BP. That's 2 times $32. Okay. This just on the way to bronze. Congratulations. You just want to finish the 4x4. So on finishing, you want to make sure it duplicates. All right. So you want to sponsor 2 more brand partners. In doing so, again, that's 2 times the 300 QP, 160 BP. You're gonna get, and then if you are bronze, notice it says if you are bronze, because it's possible someone, the people that you sponsored, I mean, you could run and get to bronze. So you all see the math there. This is where you're getting that additional 10% of the BP. Now, here it says 160 BP. That's if someone gets started with the builder pack. Okay. If you're bronze, only if a person is a bronze, that's going to be an additional $16 to 32. It's going to add to 96. All right. Just don't really focus on that right now. I just want to toss that in there. But now you're just going to help all 4 of your partners to duplicate. What are they duplicating? You. What did you do? You did the 4x4 and you become a bronze. All you want to happen in your organization, bronze, bronze, bronze. How do you get to bronze? 4x4. All right, let's break it down now. Let's talk about your income in 28 days. 4 trail pack customers, again, that's 4 times 2250. That's $90. Then you sponsor 4 partners. Again, this with them just starting on the builder pack. The cost of the builder pack is 300 and what, $20. Okay. That's 4 times 32 because you have 4 partners. That's $128. Then you're getting the builder bonus of 2 partners if you are already a bronze, because you can be a bronze in your first week, right? I believe when I got started, Mr. Steve Pineda got started. I mean, we probably hit bronze in less than 7 days. That's possible. If a person's a bronze, that's going to be 2 times $16. That's $32. And then you get the 4x4 promo. That's an additional $500. Remember, all this is happening in the first 28 days. Then you get the team bonus. That's 15% of 620 BP. I'm going to show all that graphically. So this is a little clearer to understand. That's going to be $93. Okay. But watch when I show it to you graphically how that's going to happen. That's a total of over $800 in 28 days. So if you're just getting started, again, welcome syona, welcome to the visitor group. We're excited for you or whatever organization you're in, but you just earned over $800 in 28 days. Let me show it to you graphically because I think graphically it may show up a little clearer for you. All right, so watch what happens in 28 days. So everyone sees here where it says you. That's you. I'm not calling you square, but that's you. All right, just having a little fun. Okay, that's you. What's the first thing we want you to do? When you get those first 4 trail pack customers, okay? Remember, that's going to be 400 QP, 150 BP. I'm showing the QP and the BP for everything here. So make sure you get it. Then that's going to be $22.50 because you get 15% of the cost of the True Up pack, which is $150. That comes out to $22.50. What's the next thing you do after you have your first four customers? You want to get that done, by the way, today and the first couple of days, certainly within 3 days, because remember, you cannot become and remain at the same time. People need to see signs of growth. Remember that. Okay. That's going to be $90 when you add up the four customers. Just getting four customers, that's $90. So you just got started today. Just imagine in 48 hours, you have $90 coming to you. All right. Now, let's say you personally sponsor your first two brand partners or brand affiliates. They get started on the builder pack. That's the smallest pack someone can get started on, 320. Okay. You see the QP and you see the BP with that. Then you got two more, right? Well, there, let's show you the money. That's $32 a piece for each one of those builder pack affiliates. Then they got the first four customers. You see the volume that's happening on that. Then you got two more builder pack affiliates. Again, that's the smallest pack to get started on. You see the volume there. All right. And then what they do, you got the $32 paid out for each of those builder pack affiliates. And then they went and got their first four customers, right? You see the BP and the QP. So if you add up all that money, stay with me. This is all happening within your first 28 days. Sometimes people wonder, well, how fast can I make my money back? Well, how can I make $1,000? Can I make the $500? Can I make X amount of money in my first 30 days? Well, here it is, you all. You see it. You see it. All right. So because you did four customers, four brand affiliates, as you see here, you get a $500 bonus. Then you get the team bonus. That's the residual check. That's paid every single week. If, remember, if, remember that you're still active. Make sure that you're active. And if people are still getting the product, that's why it matters that you have those customers and you tell them what the product has done for you. What has the drive done for you? What has the probio done for you? What has the vital done for you? So important because if people stay on the products, okay, they're gonna tell other people, they're gonna tell other people, and you have new customers come in every single week. Again, that's the residual income. It's $93. If you look at that again, that's over $800 in 28 days. Remember it, over $800 in 28 days. But it gets better, right? Congratulations. You just hit bronze, but it gets better. Look at this. Look at this. As a bronze, you're earning 20% of the BP, plus you're getting a builder bonus, 10% of the BP only on your your sponsor legs. It doesn't count. The builder bonus does not count for placement volume. It only counts for sponsor volume. Now, let me make another comment about that builder bonus. That's not you have to personally sponsor a new brand affiliate. That's new brand affiliates coming in your legs. Remember, you only have a leg on the left and a leg on the right. Let's say I was on your team. I just went crazy. I sponsored 10 people this week. Well, you didn't sponsor them. I did. If there's no bronze or above between you and I, you're getting the builder bonus. You're getting another 10% of the BP. Now, if that was just, you see here to the far left, you see how it has the arrow under the BP for the builder pack? That means you're getting $16 times all 10 of those people. That means that when that bonus is paid out on the following week, that means you would get $160 on work that you did not do. If again, 10 new brand affiliates got involved in business and there's no bronze between you and I, you're getting the builder bonus. You're getting that additional 10% of the BP. It's going to you. You didn't sponsor the person, someone else did in that leg, but it's all coming to you because you're the bronze. So my question is, how fast do you need to become a bronze? Okay, let's move on. We're about to close this up. All right. Notice those arrows that I showed on there. Notice at the premium pack, if someone gets started, notice the BP is 250. So that's 10% of that BP in terms of the builder bonus. That's 10% of 250 versus 10% of 160. It's a little bit more. 10% 250. That's another $25 going to you every time a new brand affiliate is getting started on the premium pack. That's another 10% to you. 25, 25, 25, 25 coming to you. How great is that? And then if you look to the right of that, they get started on the pro pack. The BP is 350. That's 35, 35, 35, 35 coming to you. If you personally sponsor someone on the pro pack, you get 20% of the BP, right? That's $70. But you're the bronze that sponsored the person. That's another $35 to you. That's 70 plus 35. That's $105 if I'm doing the math correctly. If you personally sponsor someone on the pro pack. So watch this. Watch this, you all. Look at this. Imagine duplication happens. Imagine duplication happens. There's four customers, but the product cost is greater than 150, so that's going to be more money. You sponsor four partners, but they're getting started on pro packs where the BP is 350. That's more money. You get the builder bonus of two partners. All right. And because you're bronze, again, you're getting 10% of that BP. You're getting 10% of 350 versus 10% of 160. That's more money. Okay. You just did now the 4x4 promo. You get the five additional $500. Okay. Then the team bonus, again, that's 15% of the BP. Trust me, it is 1,300. We've done the math already. That's 15% of 1,300. That's $195. And remember that team bonus, that's the residual income weekly. Look, y'all, and imagine if four partners duplicated you. That's huge. That's huge. The income is much, much higher. So as we close this out, all I want you to remember is that if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. But if you're determined to learn, no one, absolutely no one can stop you. God bless you. I'm so glad you all joined in today. All right.